Hi, guys, and welcome back to It's Called Football. In today's podcast, we're going to be doing a group stage match day roundup of the World Cup. Benji, if you'd like to start off with Qatar versus Ecuador.
I would love to. And the first game of the World Cup was played on Sunday last week. Qatar versus Ecuador, as you said. Ener Valencia scored 2 goals, or if you want to be exact, 3 goals, with one of the goals being overruled by VAR. For me, it wasn't offside, or how they ruled it out, no one knows probably. And if you want a little fact is that Qatar is the first host nation to ever lose the opening game of a World Cup. But talking about the game, Qatar played, for me, very bad. Their goalkeeper looked like Carl the Dragon in goal, and that's being honest.
The next game is going to be England versus Iran, obviously 6-2. Brilliant start for England. Saka got man of the match with 2 goals. And I think after all the criticism him and Rashford faced last year, they've responded brilliantly. Obviously, Rashford scored within 49 seconds or something like that after coming on. We played really well, maybe a bit sloppy towards the end, obviously conceding them goals. I'll ask you what you think about the penalty.
I think it was the penalty, like they were down with 5 goals, and I think the ref probably felt a bit for them. And the thing you said with looking sloppy in the end, I can agree with you there.
The next game is Senegal versus the Netherlands. Netherlands overcame Senegal late on, both their goals being in the 84th and 99th minute. Gakpo scored the first goal. He's being looked at by Man United, so it's a good start to his World Cup by getting a goal, which could help him get a move in January. You want to talk about Mendy not having a particularly good game?
The first one is totally his fault. He should be out there already boxing it away, and the second goal is also his fault. He should save it already, keep it in his in his hands.
The next game was USA versus Wales. America took the lead because of Timothy Weah. He's another young talent to look out for. I thought Wales were awful in the first half, but in the second half they improved massively and obviously were rewarded with the goal. It had to be Gareth Bale really to make it 1-1 and score his first goal in a World Cup. So I think it was deserved from Wales, but I think if they'd started that first half the way they did in the second, I think they probably would have won. Next game, it's the Argentina versus Saudi Arabia game.
Everybody supported Argentina, but when Saudi Arabia scored 2-1, that goal from Al Daswari, very good goal. Overall, I think Saudi Arabia defended pretty well. The offside trap they did was very good, as Argentina scored 3 goals more, but everything was offside.
Yeah, they were very disappointing, obviously. I don't think anybody saw that coming for Saudi Arabia to win 2-1. Yeah, against all odds, 2-1. That, like you said, that second goal was unbelievable. Like the way he brought it down, went past all the defenders, and then the strike to put it in the top corner against Argentina, who were supposed to be the favourites to win. The next game, Mexico versus Poland. Ochoa is a World Cup legend. I remember 2014, and he was insane. He just comes back every single World Cup and is unbelievable. And obviously, nothing really happened in that game. It finished 0-0, but Lewandowski, one of the best strikers in the world, and Ochoa saved a penalty to keep his team in it. Apart from that boring game, 0-0. The next game, Denmark versus Tunisia.
Denmark, Cornelius, his name is, he missed a sitter, like that he headed the ball over somehow. For me, I'm very happy that Denmark didn't win, because I don't want them to go far in the tournament. Tunisia had one chance that they could have gotten a pen. For me, apart from that very boring game, it was just, Tunisia had the ball, they had a half chance. Denmark had the ball, they had a half chance, and then it went like that.
Been a lot of 0-0s, and quite a few of the games have been boring. One game that wasn't boring though was France versus Australia. Personally, after the Argentina game, when Australia went 1-0 up, I thought we could have another upset. But obviously France being France got 2 goals in 5 minutes a bit later on. Mbappe got his goal, and then Giroud became France's joint top goal scorer alongside Henry by making it 4-1. France have definitely made a statement. How far do you think they're going to go this year?
They have a good team, and I think they will break the World Cup curse. They could win it, but I would probably see them coming to the semifinals and then probably getting third place.
The next game, Morocco versus Croatia.
Almost nothing happened watching the school. We were probably about to sleep when we were watching that. It was like the Denmark game. Morocco had some chances, and then Croatia had some chances. I think Kovacic played good. If you look at the Croatia team, they actually have a quite good lineup. They have a good team, and I thought Croatia would beat them with 3-1, 3-0. Morocco also has a good team, but coming second place in World Cup to the next World Cup, playing a draw against Morocco, not that good for me.
The next game, Germany versus Japan, another 2-1 upset. Japan did the same as Saudi Arabia by winning against a side that we probably all thought they were going to be thrashed by. Germany were winning for quite a while, but Japan scored 2 late goals, stunned Germany, and it finished 2-1. Not a great start for Germany, especially considering that they couldn't go far last time as well. The next game is Spain versus Costa Rica, if you want to start.
Yeah, Spain demolished Costa Rica. I thought it would be ending 1-0 to Spain. And then just started banging goals. Goals from Gavi, Morata, Olmo, Torres, Ferran Torres 2 times, Marco Asensio and Carlos Soler. One goal that I want to mention is the first goal, Dani Olmo's. Great build-up and a nice finish.
Yeah, it was amazing. Obviously, like you said, there are a lot of goal scorers, but I think Gavi being the youngest World Cup goal scorer since Pele. I don't think Keylor Navas had a brilliant performance. I think considering his reputation, it's pretty terrible. The next game is Belgium versus Canada.
Yeah, Belgium won 1-0 in a game where I think Belgium shouldn't have won it. Davis missed a penalty, and Canada could have gotten, I think, at least 1 or 2 more penalties out of that. The only goal scorer for the game, Michy Batshuayi, former Chelsea player. But yeah, he scored a good goal. Belgium were, in my opinion, outplayed. I think Belgium were, in their mind, I think they thought it would be easier. I think they were too confident.
Switzerland versus Cameroon. Not so much an exciting game on paper. Wasn't brilliant in the actual game as well. It was 1-0 to Switzerland in the end. Breel Embolo scored at the beginning of the second half. Obviously, he didn't celebrate against Cameroon because he was born there. Not the greatest of games. A win's a win for Switzerland, so I'm sure they'll be pleased. Uruguay versus South Korea. Very underwhelming from Uruguay. I think considering the fact they've got like such a good mix in their squad between young and exciting players to world-class players such as Suarez, Cavani, players that have done it on the top stage over a number of years. They didn't even manage to beat South Korea, whose only good players Son. It's just not a very good start. I think Nunes wasn't very good. I think he's been quite underwhelming for Liverpool and Uruguay from what we've seen so far. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Uruguay. Portugal versus Ghana.
They won 3-2, and Leao, Ronaldo, Felix scored for Portugal, and Bukhari and Ayew scored for Ghana. And I saw that Ronaldo's penalty wasn't a penalty, in my opinion. I think that was given as a penalty just because it's Ronaldo. If that was Vitinha, they wouldn't have given it. It's just Ronaldo and a penalty.
In terms of the penalty, Ronaldo did get to the ball first. However, he milked that to the best of his ability. It paid off. But he definitely got to the ball first. In this day and age, it is a penalty, but yeah, very soft. Portugal scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. Very well played. Brilliant football for those 2 minutes. It got much better as the game went on. Bukhari scored in the 89th minute for Ghana, but it didn't really mean much. Final game, Brazil versus Serbia.
This game wasn't really lovely for my eyes. First half, very boring. Second half was more interesting. Brazil played a type of Samba football, and Serbia was outplayed. The thing is with Serbia, they can play so much better than this. I think Serbia defended pretty well in the first half. But Brazil, Neymar injury, he will miss the next game. I don't know how it is for the whole tournament. Richarlison, the second goal though, world class. The outside foot pass from Vinicius, and then he flicks it up and just does a bicycle kick. What do you think about the game?
Serbia did better in the first half. You're right about them trying to injure him, and I think Neymar is out. His ankle's very swollen. He was in tears on the bench, but I mean, he normally is, so we don't really know how much that actually correlates to his injury. It's a good start. I think there were parts that maybe should be adapted if they're looking to go and win. No team has actually shown like an unbelievable win so far that's like really been, yeah, they're definitely favourites. I think all the teams we thought were favourites have slipped up a bit. Even like obviously the obvious one is Argentina, but even England, why are we conceding 2 goals against Iran? 2 goals like that as well. So I don't think anyone's been particularly dominant, say like this is the start of something special. I think everyone's had their slip ups. So I think it's still quite an open tournament.
Who would you pick as your, like the player of the match week, if you know what I mean, from every game? Who would you say is like the best of them all?
Bukayo Saka, the mental strength to come back after everything that happened in Euro 2020. Ignorant people saying awful things, to come back and get a brace in your first ever World Cup on your debut, get man of the match. Insane. What about you?
My player, or talking about that, I would give it to Gavi. Praising too much, and probably need to do that, as I said in the predictions, that I think Spain will be a mid-team or average team. And I really said that I don't think the midfield would do that good in the World Cup. Of course, they have Pedri and Gavi, but I thought they were too inexperienced playing in a World Cup. But they proved me wrong. So Gavi for me.
We're going to end the podcast here. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week with match day 2 of the group stage. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, and yeah, we'll see you soon.